Grayscale believes Bitcoin's 4-year cycle thesis will prove incorrect, expecting Bitcoin to make new highs next year in its latest research. Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the XRP family. Thank you so much for all the love that you guys show on these updates. Just one request that I have for you guys is make sure your bell icon is on so you're notified every time we are uploading on the channel. Taking a look at the board, going into Tuesday morning, we're starting to see the market kind of seeing a little bit of a rebound, from yesterday. Again, I'm sure no one really needs an introduction as to what happened yesterday. But as far as liquidation numbers are concerned, we saw about $800 million that was liquidated in the crypto space from the future side of things 24 hours yesterday, in 24 hours yesterday. We've seen a little bit of a bounce as far as XRP's price is concerned. You can see for yourself, $2.02 down 1% on the USD side of things, down about 2.1% on the Bitcoin side of things. Valuation $121.8 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about $4.3 billion. As always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. Even though we are seeing, the market pretty much down quite a bit compared to, the last few days, because over the last 1 week, I've indicated to you guys that, market actually has been in an upwards trajectory. But as you could see for yourself, a lot of those coins, were making gains, pretty much are back to, where they were prior to, the market picking up. So now if you're looking at XRP, it's down about 10.1%. Again, majority of this retracement coming from the yesterday's move. But regardless of that, take a look at the ETF volume. $42 million and about $20 million in inflows, give or take. So that's telling you something that regardless of the price of the native token down or not, you are seeing positive inflows still coming in to the ETF itself, which shows the demand. And of course, I'm sure at this point, everyone is well aware of what's happening, starting today. Yes, today, because it is Tuesday. Vanguard, yes, guys, isn't just opening the door. They're opening a bigger door than BlackRock themselves. If you don't know, Vanguard is one of the biggest asset managers globally. We're looking at about $11 trillion in assets under management. But what even makes this more exciting is the fact that Vanguard is coming in with Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana right out the gate, meaning they are allowing their clientele. You could see, Vanguard will allow ETFs and mutual funds that primarily hold select cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana, to be eligible for trading on its platform. So, what does this mean? That means, money could start flowing in, to these ETFs. So, people that are with Vanguard can, come into, crypto, and that money could potentially flow in, and that is very exciting. And look what this person says, Hunter. So again, Hunter says, sign, you're in a bear market. And again, historically speaking, for the broader market, sentiment might be that, but Bitcoin, I'm going to continue to say this, Bitcoin is still in a bull market, believe it or not. And that's what makes us understand whether or not we are in a bull market or a bear market. And that is the Bitcoin price itself, the leading indicator that tells us everything we need to know. Now, Bitcoin ends the bull market if the price drops below the 78.6. Until then, the price, in my opinion, especially when you look at it from 2022 lows, Bitcoin actually is in an upward trend, still in a bull market. But if you're looking at what Hunter says, signs you're in a bear market. The second largest brokerage in America is, flipping its policy from sell only to allowing crypto ETF purchases, and no one is excited about this. Whether people are excited right now or not, crypto is rapidly entering the mainstream, and this right here is a perfect example of that. And now the question comes in, is BlackRock just gonna let their biggest competitor just come and take the whole pie, or are they gonna come and take the piece of the pie as well for themselves? Now we'll see what happens, because that's pretty much been the main point that everyone makes from the beginning, that they're still standing on the sidelines. Only ETF they provide is Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they're missing XRP and Solana, and I'm sure they are not, they're not ignoring what XRP is doing because these numbers out the gate are very, very impressive. About like in the last 2 weeks, we've seen XRP pull in over $680 million in volume. And that itself is not small numbers, especially in this state of the market. So, big stuff, of course. Let me know your thoughts in regards to that. But take a look at this. To capture the value of projected $16 trillion tokenized economy, institutions need more than just storage. They need resilience. At Ripple, we provide a security environment that mirrors the rigor of the banks we serve. We combine HSM with FIPS certified hardware to deliver security that scales, protecting assets without sacrificing operational speed. But legitimate integration with the global financial system requires verification. That is why we strictly adhere to SOC Type 2 and ISO 27001 standards, ensuring your infrastructure is not just powerful but compliant, pretty much highlighting what they are capable of providing to these big institutions, especially as we are entering the tokenized world. And take a look at this. The numbers, of course, $42 million in terms of day one, to start off the week and to start off the month. We'll see what happens as we do go further into this week. Let me know your personal thoughts down below. Are we going to see XRP break the streak, meaning are we going to see the overall inflows that we've been pretty much seeing consecutively since the launch, that streak coming to an end, because we might see an outflow? Let me know in the comments what you guys personally think in regards to that. As far as the dominance is concerned, you can see, dominance is picking up 59.58%, and that kind of explains why you're seeing, in Bitcoin compared, we're down more than in the USD side of things, because dominance is gaining strength. Bitcoin did, what we talked about last night. I'm sure you guys know what I'm referring to. Bitcoin dropped below $86,000. We retested 78.6. But look where the daily candle close happened for Bitcoin, above $86,000. Yes, indeed, above $86,000. Again, a level we've been speaking about on the channel for quite some time. So as of now, the daily candle close has not been below 86K. If it's below 86K, the door is definitely open for us to retest some of these lower levels then. But again, I'm going to continue to remind you guys my personal opinion. I think Bitcoin is in the upwards trend, and in a bull market until we break below the 78.6. And I just don't understand how, with the demand factor that we're seeing, with so much happening for the crypto space, I just don't see how you're going to see, the price drop in below the 78.6. But as far as XRP's price is concerned, you can see for yourself. Let's actually take a look at it on an hourly perspective. So, we did see a little bit of a bounce up to $2.04. Nothing crazy right now. But again, if you want to put this into perspective, XRP went up about 3%. But, we're still pretty much ranging around this $2 price point. We briefly retested below $2, but again, we're able to rebound back, very quickly. Obviously, there is some resistance, as you can see for yourself, most importantly around $2.06. If this is able to break out, I do believe, we could start pushing up to $2.14, which would be the next major resistance to be looking forward to for the price of XRP. But again, we're still in the 0.50 fib zone above this key range. It shouldn't be a surprise that, we're seeing XRP down right now. But, look at the ETF numbers, a native token down, but yet you saw $40 million in terms of, the volume coming for ETFs. And that itself is very impressive. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thank you so much for all the love that you guys show. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and your bell icon is on so you're notified every time we upload. With that said, we'll see you later when crypto ZX and